poor baby. Pobrecito.
Oh, pobrecito.
Pobrecito.
This is What the Flock Radio's Birds of a Feather. We are an indie music focused show rife with witty, fuck-laden, insanely interesting, and unhinged banter. Our thematic submissions will confuse, infuse, and delight you, while our fascinating fun features fluster, flummox, fulfill, and thrill you. Well, who am I? I know this is old hat by now, but I feel that I must share that I'm the vocalist for the rock band Ascent, and you can find us on your favorite music platforms by searching ASNT and ASNT Rocks. And I also have another band that
I was going to goad you into saying that.
I'm in the process of working on, and we're recording right now, and hopefully we'll have some shows in the new year, and it's called Princess Zero. So I'll share more on that as it comes, and then, of course, you know, I'm a co-host here. So it's just so many things. So anyway, as is customary, I'm going to do my my little customary opening, and then we're going to get to who you are, sir.
All right.
So can you guess this Whodat? And admittedly, this one is much harder than previous Whodats.
So instead of failing like the usual ones, I'll fail spectacularly. Okay, got it.
Maybe not. So I am from Akron, Ohio, and I spent lots of time in Cleveland watching bands. I attended Kent State University's art school. I wrote for New Music Express magazine, but not for very long. I offered to marry Johnny Rotten so I could obtain a UK work permit. He declined. I was in Sat Sun Matt and 999. The name of the band I'm known for was inspired by a Sam Cooke song. Our first signature release hit UK #1 on January 19th, 1980. In 2016, we opened for Stevie Nicks. I have a contralto vocal range and balk at formal training because I believe distinctive voices in rock are trained through many years of many things: frustration, fear, loneliness, anger, insecurity, arrogance, narcissism, or just sheer perseverance. Anything but a teacher.
Wow. You know, I was going along there, as is always the case, and then there's that, like, fatal derailment, you know.
That's on purpose?
Yeah, I was going along, okay, Ohio. The only person that at the moment I can think of who comes from Ohio is Marilyn Manson. So I'm going along, okay, this could be Marilyn. Yeah, he could have done that. He could have done that. Offered to marry Johnny Rotten. No, that's where it went south. You know,
not it.
And then after that, and then it's, okay, she's female, singer, blah, 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 and I'm totally crashing on this one. I don't know anybody who fits that description. So
think of Sam Cooke. What is Sam Cooke's most famous song?
There's a bunch of them. There's What a Wonderful World. There's Chain Gang. There's Twisting the Night Away. There's Cupid.
Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender.
Oh, that's not what do you call it? Sam Cooke, is it?
Yeah.
No.
Chrissy Hind.
Well, yeah, of course it is. As soon as you said Ohio, as soon as I heard that one, Pretenders, at some point, I actually thought about the Pretenders. And I don't
likely
know,
story.
I know, I swear it's true. I don't know why. What made another clue came along and it bumped me off that track for some reason. But yes, of course, I went back to Ohio. My city was gone. Of course, Chrissy Hind's from Ohio. Everybody knows that.
So that one was harder, admittedly. That one was
admittedly harder. And this is like, I don't know such a person like that, as if I'm not like a big fan of Chrissy Hind.
Of course,
so,
yeah.
So, I mean, I remember when that first Pretenders album came out, holy shit, man, we flipped. It was like Patti Smith Horses. There were always like great records. It was like, I'd just play this thing over and over again because I had no life. But, okay, Chrissy Hind, you totally got me.
So that's it. So now, who are you?
You got me, and you got me red-faced, I will add.
Oh, wow.
The red face, but that's because the egg that's on my face is transparent, so you can see the red. So there's egg and red.
Because I thought there was an egg situation.
Yeah,
but
there's egg on face, but the face is red. The albumin is clear. You can see the red through the egg.
True.
It's a double humiliation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it doesn't indicate that it was fertilized.
No, it does not.
Okay, I was very concerned.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I'm Professor P-Soop, as always, and kind of a one-time rock and roller. Always coming back being a rock and roller, and all-around entertainer, and what am I? International rock legend, radiant savant, amateur wildlife photographer, and I got to say, contrary to the pernicious lies you've been told through the manipulative medium of rhyme, I categorically deny that puppy dog's tails have anything to do with my physical makeup, or, I dare say, that of any male. So. And here we are once again, and, I think, Pumpkin, if anybody could make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, it would be us.
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
the hell that means.
I don't know.
I don't know where'd that come from.
It's a whole thing. There's a whole story, but it's all disturbing. I don't want to have anything to do with sow's ears.
Oh, and we want to also...
Other than to lift it and say, you're so cute.
They are little dolls,
that's
with
all.
their little ears. And we're welcoming new listeners from countries we have not had before. Even after all these years, bringing the total up somewhere in the 80 range of countries. Austria. How did we not have Austria? Micronesia, Japan, Guam, Bangladesh, Qatar, China. China. How in the world do we not have any... You know where we're
What
blowing
the hell,
up?
China?
Yeah, China. We have billions of people over there.
Where
None of
you
them
been
listen
at?
to us. But Suriname, Algeria, Saudi Arabia, and I didn't even tell you this one yet, Nepal.
Oh.
Now, here's why, for some reason, we are absolutely blowing up in Iran. I have no idea.
Right on.
But we are. So, hey, everybody, welcome.
They got smart.
Yeah.
They found some severe taste. And
this is,
they need entertainment, and they found us, and they thought, shit, why go anywhere else?
The mullahs are going to be like, this is exactly the kind of Western decadence we warned you about.
Absolutely.
And but thankfully, we can come to all these people via the internet, which is this magical device that allows you to inform the whole world of who the real ones are and what they know. It's like the real ones know. Just because you think something. Have you seen that? I see that all the time.
The real ones.
The real ones know. It's like, if you like this thing that I like, you're a real one.
Well,
and,
that's also the if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That's the perfect condescending one. Yeah, if you know, you know. It's like, do I even have to bother to explain it? If you're real, you know.
Well, it's kind of like the can't fly. Wait, what is it? Dogs barking can't fly without umbrella. If you know, you know. What?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that's like Yes lyrics. It's like one of those things that people don't even want to admit they don't understand because they don't want to sound stupid.
Well, nobody understands them. They're completely nonsensical.
Yeah. It's like skibbity toilet.
I don't know how John Anderson would feel about you calling his lyrics "skibbity toilet."
That was not an association I intended to make.
I don't know about that, but it's to each their own. I mean, if you know, you know.
Poor Pumpkin works so hard and so much that she doesn't spend nearly as much time as I do wasting time on social media, but you get to see these damn phrases all the time, and to hear them tell it every day, they're going to tell you something that everybody is obsessed with. It's just like, everybody's obsessed with this shit that you've never heard of. It's true. Every day. The audience, even in Iran, are going, yeah, I know what he means.
Exactly.
Because they probably spend more time online than you, my poor overworked Pumpkin.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway, do proceed.
Oh, so that was it? That's all you used to describe you?
Yeah, I just said I wasn't made of puppy dog's tails.
Oh, it's true. So I challenge you. I
just wanted to set the record straight.
I challenge you to create new descriptors.
I'm thinking blubber is going to be one of them in my case.
Oh, okay. So, but puppy dog's tails is pretty upsetting.
Yeah. Blubber I can live with.
All right. So we will rewrite that song for you. So anyway, let's take a look at what our current theme is. David, what is it?
Oh, there's my... Oh, I'm not supposed to mention that. There is no format. There's no such thing. Okay. All right. And I believe this is the part where I describe this week's theme and next time's theme as well, next episode's. Although we'd like to say it was next week, it won't be, but the next episode of Birds will have a theme. But for this one, it is anticipation. This time we deviate from the covers and move to a word that may require patience. Think about delays, hold-ups, and cessations. Pauses, a stay, a halt. In all instances, they are waiting. Are they waiting for the beginning or the end?
So interesting. When I was thinking about what I wanted to look for, what I wanted to hear longing. And why did I want to hear longing? Well, I wanted to hear songs about longing or halting or anticipation because the new year is coming up, right? And the holidays are upon us. We talk about gratitude and all that. So I thought, I want to hear that. I found quite a mixed bag of songs about waiting. And we'll get to that later. But did you know that the most popular song with waiting in the title is... What do you think?
In the title. Waiting is in the title. For some reason, there's two of them that come to mind.
Oh.
First, I thought Rolling Stones, Waiting on a Friend, but no, I think it's Foreigner, I've Been Waiting for a Girl Like You.
Right Here Waiting by Richard Marx.
Oh, no, that's true. That's a good, oh, man.
That is a most popular
Wherever
song.
you go, whatever you do, I'll never
right
forget
there.
the humiliation of this moment. That's true. Right Here Waiting for You.
That is the sweetest song ever. I remember I used to listen to that song. There he is with his gorgeous mullet. It was lovely, singing the sweetest song ever. But yeah, so lots of really, really great stuff from amazing artists that you've likely never heard of talking about waiting. So that's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
And what's next?
Next theme. That would be Dream. Sorry, I almost sang it. Dreaming. It's hard not to sing that one. Desperately seeking songs, not Susan, songs about dreaming while you sleep, daydreaming, aspirations, et al. So, yes, dreaming, the dream. Now, there's a lot of songs about that.
Absolutely. And, I wanted
anticipation, too, yeah.
Thunder only happens when it's raining.
When it's raining,
yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right. So, of course, what we have to do is something that is absolutely crit, and that is talk about Crystal Unclear. So for this Every Show feature, we are challenged to use a selected phrase as much as possible throughout the show. However, our use of these words will be extra. So this time it is shook. This is an adjective meaning stunned or shocked, and it's one of the top 10 slang words of 2024. So we will certainly be shook by today's artists.
Wow. So there's one that I know a lot of the cringy new Gen Z, Gen Alpha slang that I always get forced to attempt to use on the show is something that was around a while ago, or this generation likes to take words that have been around and make them mean something completely different.
Yeah.
Shook, however, is an old word, a venerable word, and I do not object at all to using it. So
wow.
That means I might do it a couple times during the show.
Well, that's
Although
crazy.
I tried to be game with the other ones. Shook will probably come more naturally to me.
We need to use shook.
Yeah, shook.
All right, so now...
But if I forget, don't get shook,
I will be shook.
Yeah,
I'm already shook.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my feature, and I'm doing a new one. I created a lot of new features. We have not done a lot of them, but this one is My Little Chickadee. For this feature, we discuss music appearing in G-rated TV and film. What does it have that reaches its young audience? And is it just for kids, or is it also adult fare? So it's very interesting. This time I'm going to be talking about an earworm. And, sometimes it's welcome, sometimes it's not. In this case, I don't know. At first, I liked it, and then I hated it. Then I liked it, then I hated it. Now I think I abhor it, but it's interesting. So what is it you say?
Yeah, I'm dying, actually, because I almost did this feature. I wanted to do this feature. We should have compared notes about that, but I didn't. And I couldn't think of one, but I wanted
you waited till the last minute?
So desperately. That's not true.
Waited till the last minute?
No, I waited till the last minute to do the features. I actually selected them a week ago.
Nobody said that?
Yeah.
Nobody told me?
Yeah. But I wanted to do this feature, but I couldn't think of a suitable film that had a song that everybody would know or that applied. So I'm dying here.
So, this is going to take us back to 2013. And when the album first hit the shelves, it didn't make the top 10 on the Billboard 200 albums chart. But by early January of the following year, which is 2014, the record climbed to the top of the summit, displacing Beyonce. What? At number 1. And that's largely down to the success of one song.
And yeah.
Let It Go from Frozen.
Oh no. Why did I not think of the Disney Pixar empire and their,
right?
bevy of iconic songs?
Absolutely. To date, Let It Go has sold over 9 million copies in the U.S. and has been viewed over 3 billion times on YouTube and has been recorded in over 40 languages. So the first lines always remind most of us, I think, if you really think about it and really listen, and actually this is not me saying this, actually I got this from somebody else. It said they remind them of I Want to Dance with Somebody. So think about that next time you hear Let It Go. And the bridge is akin to Material Girl. So the interesting thing about why this song probably has so much staying power and is so infectious is because we may feel like we've heard it before. because it has some nods to those. The sequence of chords, 1, 5, 6, and 4 has been used in numerous hits like Don't Stop Believin', right? Paparazzi by Lady Gaga and Zombie by the Cranberries. So sometimes when you take something familiar and you mix it up and you put in different order and put different lyrics to it, and then you put it in a powerful movie for kids, then that is the secret ingredient. So it is very popular in common music, this sequence, right? So, and then that let it go is so evocative. It really is. So there are hidden complexities, which is very interesting if you think about this, to Let It Go, if you go deep into the lyrics. And I think this is one of the reasons why it has such staying power for everyone, not just kids, but adults as well. So Let It Go takes on different meanings each time the chorus is sung. So the first time this chorus is sung, she's letting go of other people's expectations of how she should behave. Then the second part of the song is letting go of her self-imposed limitations on her power so she could see what she really could do. And the final chorus, completing her journey of self-acceptance, is about letting go of her past. So when you think about it, as we try to define our place in the world, we take these songs that we hear, whether they're attached to a kid's movie or not, and we see ourselves in those songs. So when you hear somebody singing, let it go, let it go, let it go, you keep thinking, well, that is something I need to think about, or I need to let go of the expectations of others. I need to let go of limiting myself, and I need to let go of the past, right? So it definitely is something very, very powerful. So the song also is about saying, I'm out and proud as a snow queen, right, in here. And you know, we're all princes and princesses. We're all kings and queens at the end of the day. And I think that speaks to a lot of people because, in a sense, we've always wanted to feel ourselves becoming a better version of ourselves, something bigger, something more powerful, more remarkable, if you will. The song inspires communal feelings of self-acceptance and growth, and that's why it's so memorable. We can all put ourselves in Elsa's position, right? Where we're hiding something again about ourselves, or we're feeling like we shouldn't be our full selves. So it becomes something that is just so ubiquitous that everyone knows and everyone wants to sing along, and it touches everybody in a different way. So that, I think, is why it is absolutely a song not just for kids, but also for adults. And in fact, if I can go a little bit deeper, I do think if you can stay with me on this, I remember seeing Bambi and I thought, wow, that's kind of like real life. And I know that seems really weird, but if you think of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that didn't seem like real life, right? Sleeping Beauty, your prince is not going to wake you up with a kiss, right? But then it started to get like there are relatable parts of these Disney stories. And then as we go into the music, there's always something relatable because they're telling stories about the human experience.
Yeah, one doesn't relate to Snow White quite as much as,
right.
You can't say I'm like that, whereas, the Elsa thing. I realize I'll probably be, you're putting me at risk of being banished to the island of Elba for the rest of my days because you're forcing me to admit that I've never seen Frozen. And as far as now, thematically, I'm interested, but also the fact that it at least evokes great classic pop hits that I love, like Material Girl and like I Want to Dance with Somebody. If I ever hear that song for the first time, I'm going to be thinking about that.
Good. Let's listen to it now.
You see what I get for being honest? I confess to not having heard the song, and I knew in doing so I would be fated to immediately have to listen to the song.
Why is that bad?
But it honestly wasn't. It wasn't much of an ordeal. It was actually a very nice little tune there. I of course had heard some of it, bits and pieces. But yeah, it's right. And big kudos to them for somehow working the term fractals in there without sounding forced. That was nice. That was smooth. No, it's got a great lyric. It's a good song, great vocal, great melody. I don't know nothing about song structures or anything like that, but it is it's a lovely tune. It's a show tune through and through and through. You know that.
Well, it's musical. So.
Yeah, I mean, even if it were on somebody's record, it would be, oh yeah, there's a show tune right there. And yeah, good for them. It's a good tune.
Absolutely. So, I don't know. I think the whole goal of my creating this feature is just to talk about the fact that even though they're cartoons, they have evolved and the music in them has evolved. And they're very powerful, and they talk more about the human condition and the human experience than ever before. And they're not just for kids. They are relatable by adults, not only the actual, themes, graphics, all of that, but then the actual songs if they are included. So anyway, I think it's for both, and that's really the goal. Is it just for kids? Is it just kid stuff? No, it's absolutely not.
I think those days, as a person who actually had kids for quite a few years, I think those days are really gone where things were just for them, and it would kind of insult the intelligence of the adults, because the adults, I like a lot of the movies I had to see because of having kids. They were more mature. They had a more sophisticated wit to them, and the music was excellent. And this is true of television with like anime. A lot of those shows have fantastic composers doing the music to them, even though they're technically cartoons, although not nearly as family-friendly or for kids as Frozen, for example. But yeah, I totally see it. Great idea for a feature, too, and I'm ashamed of myself for not thinking of something, but I'm glad I didn't, because we would have both had the same feature.
Yeah, but it would have probably been different songs, so that could have been like a head-to-head battle.
Yeah. Glad I what do you call it, came up with a dry well, because but now you have opened up my eyes to the possibilities.
Absolutely. So it's not just kid stuff, so watch them all, because
that's
we're going to take a lot of stuff away from them. But I will say, and I'm going to go ahead and say in closing, because of how many times I had to hear that song, I'm good never hearing it again. So it was really taking one for the team to sit there and listen to it again for what had to be at least the 100th time, because my friends had young children at the time.
And we both did that. We both had to do that. For who? Not for us.
No.
For you. For you.
For you, the peeps.
The
80
peeps.
Countries, almost 80 countries.
For you in Iran, and for you in Suriname,
That's what we do.
Suriname, which incredibly enough is in South America. I thought for sure it had to be in Africa. I won't admit that on the air. I'll cut that part out.
So I just want to stop you for a minute, because you said something a little that could be alarming to some. Not to me, because I know the story.
Me, no.
No, you. And I'm going to share what it is. We're going to go and have a serious moment with you all, folks. So you said something about having kids, quote, for a little while. Mm-hmm. I had kids for a little while. So did you give them up for adoption? Did you leave them on the side of the street? What happened to these kids?
Well, they didn't see which way I went from the mall, and it was like that. Well, of course, they could have grown up and not been kids anymore. I mean, I could say I had kids even if they were 40 years old.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So scratch that. No, that was you all get it. It was a divorce situation. You understand. They weren't my kids, that kind of thing. So, But, so I did the whole child-rearing thing for many years, and saw a number of films of this type, and I was so impressed. All
right, I just wanted to clear that up, lest you thought he, left him at the Humane Society or something. So, anyway, so moving on, let's talk about the first artist we're introducing this time, and the artist is Eva, spelled Y-V-A, and the song is I Won't Wait. And this is her debut single. So it's not really off of an EP or anything, but it's her debut single. She's alt pop, chamber pop, alt and indie pop. Wow. So she hails from the UK. And I want to make sure that you know, before we even listen to her song, that she also has a brand new EP out called Delusions of Grandeur. Nice. So let's take a listen to Eva.
Forget the way that I smile. Forget what we've done. Forget that look in my eye, 'cause you know you've done me wrong. No, you can't come back anytime that you want. When you're ready,
Okay, that was Eva. Wow. Okay, there's a lot going on there. I'm going to allow you to go first, but that was Eva with I Won't Wait.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, and yet, paradoxically, there isn't, and that was to its credit. Anyway, what I'll say is that it starts off with this like smoky film noir kind of a feel, and it's like there's the cocktail glasses, there's the martinis, there's the cigarettes, it just seems like one of those scenes. And you don't know where it's going, but then it takes this really raw blues turn. And except for the vocal is absolutely incredible. I mean, I could see the expression on Christina's face while this is... And the thing about this one is the instrumentation is just spare enough to allow what little RAM my brain has to be free to listen to the lyric much more than I've ever listened to the lyric of any song on the show before. Usually I'm taking in all kinds of things and I'm just kind of vaguely skimming the lyric because I'm caught up in some other thing because I have a very, stunted musical brain. But that is the absolute truth. But the lyrics like, come back, when you're a man, come back anytime you want, but I won't take you just because I can. It's like, there's this is not a for granted thing.
Yeah, she says you can't come back.
Yeah, but then she says, there's a list as long as my arm of guys who say they want to take me on, and there's this incredible pulsing throb of music through the thing. But it is, like I said, it's engaging, but you can still focus on the lyric. And like I said, the gasp-inducing shout that she lets out, I could see Christina go, whoa, over there.
I mean...
And then there's this sounds like this... It's probably a synth or something like that, but it sounds like these sawing violins, dun, 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 which is really...
they build a lot of tension.
They build a lot of tension.
Which I liked.
Very, very high drama. But as I said, it is enough to... I focused on the lyric, and it's a very, very powerful one. And a super impressive song in every respect.
Yeah, I think... Eva, I have to say, I fucking hate her because that vocal is so... deadly. It's so perfect. It's so beautiful. Her tone, her control, her power, her range. There is so much going on there, and I found myself giggling like a child through the whole thing because it's just so beautiful. It's like a study in voice. It's just incredible, and it's so evocative, and it's so moving, and it's so stirring, and it's so incredibly sexy. It's insane. But then she does these beautiful flourishes like she does on Wait. They're not runs, they're flourishes, and they're perfect. And then there is, I love this, forget the way I kiss and the touch of my hand. Here's the thing. If you're stupid enough to let some of us in your life go or whatever, fuck you. You should forget all that shit. And fuck you. There's a whole arm length's worth of people that would rather take us on. So if you don't want us, somebody else does. I love that. I love the defiance there because sometimes, you can be left feeling broken. And instead she's like, you can't come back. You can try, but I'm not going to take you back, even though I can.
I can totally relate. I sometimes think of my two exes. God bless them. I wish them well. But it's like, boy, you both really fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, right? But she is otherworldly. Absolutely. And I love that there's the guitar that kicks in. I think that's amazing. And then, again, there's that rafter denting high note that she hits that I cannot handle. I want to hear this song again and again because it's so good. And I just love that she ends with, I won't wait. So when I came up with this theme, I wanted a song like this that would just knock my socks off. And Eva did it. I'm telling you, I am absolutely shook.
Yeah, because we were talking about the wait songs before. We have, somebody who is waiting. Here we have someone who's saying, you know what?
I'm not.
No, that isn't happening.
I won't wait.
And of course, we've seen those throughout history, like Donna Summer's Hot Stuff. She ain't waiting for anybody to call. No, and this is much more particular, much more personal. It's you, mister. I'm not waiting for you.
Yeah, Donna Summer in the same breath as Eva. I'm not sure they match, but we love Donna. But Eva, I will tell you, that's incredible. You are incredible. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to check out Delusions of Grandeur. Again, remember, this is an EP that just came out this year. Go listen to it. And if you want to follow Eva, go to Instagram and follow her at YVA_music. Whew, I feel like I just got hit because it was just so incredible. I love it. I am absolutely shook. Are you shook?
Yeah, we are both shook by that. That was
Seriously.
one of the songs that will really grab you and just shake you.
Absolutely. All right, so now we are going to hummingbirds.
Which is good because you can use having been shook as an excuse for utterly failing.
Oh, you can too. So for this feature, we hum songs and see if we can stump each other in a head-to-head battle. Why? Bragging rights, of course. And I don't have a lot to brag about historically, so I'm hoping that I will redeem myself, but it's only if David actually does songs that I know. So we'll see. But I go first this time.
All right.
Are you ready?
I think I am, yeah.
Okay.
Ready for the revenge to begin?
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, the prize, candy-coated popcorn, Peanuts Enterprise. I mean, this is Cracker Jack box material.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac Dreams.
There
Thank
it
you
is.
so much. You know, that just makes me feel worse.
Yeah.
Because I know when I usually lead into this with assurances of cotton balls and gifts, only
You totally
prizes,
fucked me. That's
only lacking a Cracker Jacks box to enclose them. And I always mean it sincerely.
No, you don't.
I do. But this time, I am thinking there are going to be a few half points on your scorecard. I think you're going to know the song
so
and not be harder.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, he intentionally is fucking me again. This is what happens.
It's everything. Everything that I'm saying is with every one I put up is within the realm of possibility for you to know. I'm just thinking there's a slightly
because it's music and I'm alive. That doesn't make any sense.
This is like everybody knows this stuff.
Oh my god!
As you will see with my first example, which is la 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 la. La 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 la.
She's
la 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 la.
Yeah, right. So it's lumped the president of the United States of America.
And C, another handy full point for you. And
did you think I didn't know one of the two of those, either the name or the?
No. It's the. Actually, that one I thought you would get all of. The half pointers are coming up still.
Fuck you.
But
okay.
I gotta say, I just want to say. This is one of those Weird Al Yankovic tie things. He did a parody of this called Gump. It's about Forrest Gump, which honestly almost justifies the existence of that wildly overrated movie. Oh, sorry. Did I say something again? Did I say something iconoclastic again? But honestly, the President of the United States of America is a very unwieldy and rather misleading name, as, to my knowledge, not one executive branch chief was a member of this group, nor were they probably even old enough to be so, constitutionally speaking. But that was their name, and quite an awful handle, I gotta say, but cute song, catchy song, and a good whole solid point for you.
Just wanted to go ahead and real quick talk about Forrest Gump for a minute. So, Academy Award for Best Actor in a Leading Role, 1995. Academy Award for Best Picture, 1995. People's Choice Award for Favorite Movie, 1995. Academy Award for Best Directing, 1995. Academy Award for Best Writing Adapted Screenplay, 1995. Producers Guild America Award for Best Theatrical Motion Picture, 1995. Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture, 1995. Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, 1995. Academy Award for Best Film Editing, 1995. Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Leading Role. Again, Golden Globe Award for Best Director, Motion Picture. Golden Globe Award for Best Actor, Motion Picture. National Board of Review Award for Best Actor. Writers Guild of America Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. People's Choice Award for Favorite Dramatic Movie. BAFTA Award for Best Special Visual Effects. National Board of Review Award for Best Film. People's Choice Award for Favorite Dramatic Actor. Do I need to go on?
Well,
you're completely fucked up. That is one of the best movies ever made. It's absolutely incredible.
I will say that it's rare for the pros and the academies and the guilds and all that stuff to have as shitty taste as the hoi polloi in the street. They all agree that this is good when it isn't. I just thought it was a pretty terrible movie. That's all.
I think you need to see it again and
Hanks was great. Sinise was great. It's an awful movie. I'm sorry.
Be based on.
It spawned a good restaurant. You ever eat at Bubba Gump's?
Yes.
Yeah. See, it spawned that. I'll give it that.
I think we're gonna need to stop here because the whole world disagrees with you.
We are not watching
I
Forrest Gump
want to understand why you don't like Forrest Gump. What is the problem with it? Because of what? What the storyline blows? The fact that he has developmental issues, the fact that he falls in love, the fact that there's life stuff that happens, and they tie in history. And
all the stuff that happens to him, the historic, I mean, it's like watching We Didn't Start the Fire. Everything that happens in all those years affects. That's an interesting idea. I just don't like the way it played out. I mean, Hanks did what he could. God bless him. But sorry, I just didn't like the picture that much. Maybe I should revisit it, though, because I did like it once.
By the way, there were 5 other awards I didn't even get to.
I'm sure. That one I might have to revisit. We agree, celebrated films that are stinkers, like, and we just added one to the list, like, what was that hunk of shit, Dirty Dancing?
I mean, that's horrible. But
Eyes Wide Shut.
Forrest Gump, Dirty Dancing, not the same.
Eyes Wide Shut.
I mean...
Yeah. No, I might have to visit. Sometimes I think of movies that I liked back then that I think I wouldn't like now, but I do. Like, for some reason, I didn't watch Indiana Jones for like 30 years, and I watched them all recently and absolutely love them to death. So I might have to give Forrest Gump, which of course isn't as good as Indiana Jones, but I'll give Forrest Gump a shot.
Wow.
All
right. So write in your letters of protest. It is not my fault. I disagree in every possible way. I've seen that movie multiple times because of its brilliance, and the world agrees. Not.
I saw it. I did too. I'm a theater brat, and I saw it a bunch of times. And
how old were you though?
Whatever year it came out.
Yeah, 1984.
All right. That means I was 23.
Yeah, you were not cooked enough.
I guess, I guess I wasn't cooked enough.
You need to be cooked enough, and it's a 2.5 hour long movie. You need to be cooked enough, and you need to have more life experience, apparently. I saw it in 1994, and I was not nearly that old, and I got it, and I was like, holy shit, this is a great movie. So it is what it is, but I just wanted to mention all those awards just in case that, made you think twice.
And all of this came from Lump, which has nothing to do whatsoever with the movie.
But that's your fault for bringing up that. No, you brought up this tie. You don't have to bring them up.
And I did know. It wasn't the tie.
You don't have to bring up the tie.
The tie would have gone unnoticed, except for I registered the fact that I thought it was a shitty movie.
That's the problem.
It wasn't Yankovic. Don't blame Al.
No, he brought up Gump, and then you brought up your really shitty taste in movies back then, apparently, because that was a brilliant movie.
Gump sat alone on a bench in the park. My name is Forrest. Oh, never mind. Sorry.
All right. So I wager to say even Weird Al liked that movie. All right. So going on now that I have tried to, again, I can only try to help him. I can't right all the wrongs of his life.
Her heart's in the right place.
So anyway, this next one, I believe you'll know and will not be causing a stir. La 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 la
oh.
la 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 la. La 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 la.
I wanna hold your hand. See, the holiday spirit has obviously gotten into. She's just, the gifts aren't even wrapped. It's like, here it is, right in your face. That was too easy. I wanna hold your hand. The Beatles. Now I feel really bad. So maybe that's her whole plan all along.
You don't care.
I think you'll know this one. I just don't know if you'll know the artist, but.
I hope I absolutely just rake your ass over the coals with this one.
No, there's only one other that's even a possible miss here, and I don't think so. I think you know this one. Shit, I wrote something down so weird. Okay, sorry. I wrote something down so weird. Okay, this one is like... La 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 la.
Yeah, ring your bell.
Ring what bell?
Ring my bell.
My bell, thank you.
Is it Anita Ward?
Oh, it's Anita Ward. See?
Yeah, because I love disco, so there's no way.
I had complete faith in you with that one.
You did not.
Actually, I was doubtful.
By the way, that's what I call raking his ass over the coals on that one. So
which I am
Anita Ward.
Position I'm volunteering for. Tori Amos actually covered that too.
Yes,
okay.
I know.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to meet that with this.
You've definitely got the rest, though.
Yeah, you're not instilling me with a lot of faith. A lot of hope here. Let's see if I can do this. Shit, I had it earlier. La 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 la.
Uh-oh. One more time.
La 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 la.
Uh-oh.
La 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 la.
This is terrible. Terrible, terrible.
La 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 la.
Da 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 da.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
See, the problem is there's a time. If I could sleep on this, I don't suppose I can sleep on this. No. Just record this part tomorrow.
No.
I promise I won't stay up. I'll just go right to sleep, and it'll come to me.
5 seconds.
I know it, of course, but I don't have time. So tell me.
You don't know it because you couldn't say it. It's Boogie Oogie Oogie by...
Boogie Oogie Oogie by A Taste of Honey.
By A Taste of Honey.
Of course. There it is. Yeah, you can't boogie no more. I love that song.
It's a great song.
Great song. Of course, see? That was
a cotton ball.
I hate to admit it that you don't want to admit that you didn't get a cotton ball, but I didn't. I didn't. I mean, I couldn't even tear open the little paper thing to get the prize out of the Cracker Jack box. Okay. Meanwhile, here's one on a silver platter for you. Cotton ball, lobbed underhand, as we were playing ping pong earlier. Ready? Here it goes. La 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 la.
Yeah. Loving you.
Loving you. Thank you. Have a point.
Hang on. I can see her face. What is it? Maya Rudolph's mother.
Correct. That wasn't the name she used on her records, though.
I see her with the little baby's breath on the cover.
Yes, that's right. She did not go by the name Maya Rudolph's mother, however.
No, she didn't. It's not like Tilda. Shit, I don't remember what it is.
Oh, no.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I should
darn.
know it.
Oh, I really thought
you didn't.
You'd get it. I honestly did.
You set the whole thing up that you thought it was going to fuck me.
No, it was kind of like I was just not having faith in you. But all right,
oh my God.
I'll give you.
Did you all hear that? No faith in me.
No,
I need a word. No faith.
Minnie.
Oh God.
Minnie the Moocher. Yes, that's right.
No, Minnie.
I don't think Minnie the Moocher was written.
It's not Minnie Rudolph though. What is it? Minnie.
Something with an R.
I swear I can almost see it written out, but I can't get it.
Okay. How about Jack the
Ripper? Oh, Minnie Ripper.
Minnie Ripper.
10.
Minnie Ripperton. Minnie the Ripperton. That's
God damn it.
I'm so sorry.
Shit.
I mean, that was a hit or miss. The next one, absolutely no question. You've got it all.
Whatever.
Yep. You're still ahead of me, biatch. Okay.
But I actually did not say, oh, I'm trying to fuck him. I don't think he's going to get it, blah, blah. You, however, do not care about me. That's fine.
Nobody should feel the least bit bad when somebody fucks up A Taste of Honey Boogie Oogie Oogie, which, of course, I should have known.
Just saying.
All
right. So, here we go. La, 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 la. La 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 la.
Life is demanding without understanding. The iconic, legendary, wonderful kind of thing she turns her nose up at, probably, but the amazing The Sign by Ace of Base.
Hate that song and that band. Yes.
I love that. I
know.
Great scene in Werewolves Within. Milana Weintraub dances to the song. It's just a classic
I have no idea
song.
what we're talking about, but
they do. Classic.
You think everyone
song.
Knows what you're talking about?
It's a movie, Werewolves Within.
Yeah, but
in it,
do you think they all know?
Milana Weintraub dances to the song "The Sign," but it's just that great a song.
No, I got that the first time, but you think all these people know who whatever they are that you just said? I mean, I've never heard that fucking person in my life.
The real ones know. I got to say it.
So the Iranians, hello Iran.
Yeah.
Let us know if you knew them. Who else? Guam
knows this, man.
No.
Guam, there's the number one. Werewolves Within was the number one movie in Guam. I happen to know, and I mean anybody who didn't get the reference, they can choose to be shook, but I don't think they will.
No. Yeah, no. I appreciate the how was it the I don't know prepubescent recall and restatement that you did when I said what is that and you're like. Well, it's a movie.
I didn't know what you were saying.
So apparently I was schooled by about I think I was about 7 or 8 in that moment. So appreciate that. I still don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I could go slower.
That would be so great if you could just go a lot slower, then I might understand who you're talking about.
I'll make it up to you by giving you a real cotton ball now. I mean, this is lighter than air. This is almost like a dirigible.
As if I trust you now. As if.
La 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 la.
True Colors, Cyndi Lauper.
Did I lie? There you go. Some group was playing earlier tonight, but it wasn't. I said, "Oh no, don't listen to this. It's on the show." But it wasn't.
Time after
it was time
time
after time. This is True Colors, title track from another album. But yeah, of course, everybody knows True Colors. So you see,
so
nailed it.
You have 3,
and you have 3.5.
All right, so I actually won that one, but not because you had any faith in me.
Because you're fucking awesome, and I knew you were.
You said that because you didn't have any faith in me. So fuck you for all that.
That just came out wrong.
That came out absolutely right. Stream of consciousness tells the fucking truth. All right, so that one I won, but not by much. And I still can't believe you didn't get Boogie Oogie Oogie, but that's okay.
Neither can I.
It happens. But I need a award. That's all I have to say. Minnie Riperton. Of course I know that. All right. So that takes us to our next artist. And this artist is Bryde with a song called Wait.
Bryde with a Y, by the way.
And this is from the album Like an Island. And Bryde is alt blues singer-songwriter. And I have to say, she is also from the UK. And you can check out her new EP, Change Your Mind. But before you go do that, let's listen to Wait together.
Wait, nothing feels the same. Nothing feels like you do, messing with my brain. Wait, can we do this better? Can we do this right? Held up in the harshest light. Are we far out? Always gazing at the pictures with the lights turned out. It's a delicate thing, like a note uninterrupted. We could leave it a ring. We could leave it a ring out. Wait, snoring at my heart, tearing at my confidence, pulling it apart. Wait, 'cause I can do this better. Yeah, now I know you more. Oh, let's try a little more. Far out, always gazing at the pictures with the lights turned out. It's a delicate thing, like a note uninterrupted. We could leave it a ring. We could leave it a ring. We far out, always gazing at the pictures with the lights turned out. It's a delicate thing, like a note uninterrupted. We could leave it a ring. Far, always gazing at the pictures with the lights turned out. It's a delicate
All right, that was Wait by Bryde. Holy crap. Again, it's just beautiful. Very, very emotional. Starts with just Wait after this beautiful introduction, this just gorgeous orchestration. Gorgeous. I mean, just a beautiful lead in, and her voice, there's this breaking. It's intentional and unintentional. And she's doing these vocal acrobatics that are just stunning. And there's such a longing every time she sings Wait. And there's like a begging, wait, but let me fix this. Wait. No, don't go. And then there is this moment. I mean, aside from her vocals, which are insane and beautiful, but the guitar comes in like a cruel interruption in an attempt to overpower her, and yet it's like she fights on. There is just this moment, and it seems almost like it shouldn't be there, like it's trying to silence her, and she continues on, and it's just beautiful. I mean, again, with these vocalists today, I'm so glad I found her, but I believe we covered, that sounds weird. I believe that we played Bryde on our show many years ago. The name and her voice sounds very familiar, but I'll find out. But either way, please take a listen, not only to this song, but please listen to her Change Your Mind EP that came out very recently. What do you think?
Yeah, if we played Bryde, I would be surprised that I didn't, but of course, no, I wouldn't really be surprised, but I would be disappointed in myself that I didn't remember, because I want to commend the name is brilliant. That's Bryde, Bryde. Unless, of course, that was a typo on Christina's part,
Nope.
In which case that should be your name, and you should consult with her and let her
her
make
name is Bryde.
Okay. It was, as you said, beautiful and haunting, and you know, the haunting piano thing, I could not help but be reminded immediately of Tori Amos. And
I'm sure she's very heavily influenced by Tori.
Oh, yeah. And then
but she does something completely
I'm gonna
different.
Pretend that I didn't look that she covered Tori Amos.
Yeah. She does something. She does a lot of flourishes, similar but very different than Tori Amos, which I love. I love Tori.
And Tori doesn't have quite the breaky, you know, that thing, that vocal thing that she does, like almost like Dolores O'Riordan, kind of, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Tori could do it. She just doesn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's more as if like Cranberries were covering a Tori Amos song, kind of thing, which is good in both respects. And there's this really, really gripping harmony. The harmony is deadly. I mean, the way it hooks you.
Absolutely,
and
beautiful.
The guitar, I wrote down that it was minimal guitar, but with maximum distortion, and it does attempt to sear its way into the mix and kind of overpower, like you said. And I'm thinking, like, who knows? It's like it's simple, but it's loud, so that could be like a person, but I'm just making shit up.
It felt like a rebuttal.
Yeah, it felt like a rebuttal. It's like, this is a person who is protesting a lot, but really does talk, as James Brown would say, talking loud but saying nothing, you know. Not that the guitar is saying nothing, but it isn't super complicated, but it tries to be loud, and it does take the song, it almost puts the song in a different category, and I found that fascinating. It defies its own self and its own setup with that. And it makes you wonder, you know, the things this artist must get up to, because that's very imaginative. And, I was super impressed with this Bryde track, and I'm wondering, did we really play her before? Maybe.
I believe we
did. Good stuff, though.
Either way, please go check out her new EP, but then also follow her on Instagram at BRYDE Official. Well, lest you be shocked, it is time for you to do your first of two features.
You know, Pumpkin, you might be young and tender, but even so, at some point in your life, you must have come across some bullshit that you wasn't trying to hear. That's happened, right?
Oh, yeah. I was shook.
See, at that moment, you felt exactly like I feel now.
Oh, my.
Yeah. I mean, just features. I mean, seriously, am I trying to hear this bullshit or what?
But it's been 5-ish years, so
in this case, it's me with the feature.
Yeah.
But, so I thought, well, the least we could do is do a new one. We've already had a new one tonight. This is also a new one called Thrush. And for this feature, we discuss acts that went from no one to rock star seemingly overnight. How did they do it? What was the breakout song? And did they pay their dues? Does it matter? Well, let me say that in the most highfalutin way possible. I cannot but wonder. One of the great unwashed would have said, I cannot help but wonder, but we're kind of aristocratic here, so I cannot but wonder if this feature is perhaps named after a certain Paula Abdul song, or more likely is it a common expression used in a dozen different ways on a daily basis that I'm completely ignorant of.
It's a bird.
Yeah, but why twice, though?
Because of Paula Abdul's Rush Rush.
Okay,
yes.
So that was it. I was, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Rush Rush from the second album, Spellbound. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so I did guess that one right. Very cool. I'll just address that one thing first, that whole thing about did they pay their dues, and get that out of the way, and by saying that it's a total, absolute bullshit idea. The whole thing. I mean, if you've got as far as I'm concerned, if you've got the goods, I'm not going to sit there with a lemon-sucking expression waiting for you to spend years playing in bars, okay? Heretical or not, that's how I see it. If I like what you're doing, and it's day one, you woke up in the morning and you created this great song and you put it out, and I love it, then I don't care. You don't have to earn anything. But we will find out if that happened in this case, but I'm just saying, to me, it doesn't matter.
But the court of public opinion wants you to have paid your dues in order to be catapulted to the top of stardom.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it isn't necessary. That's all. I mean, it usually is how it works out, though.
Yeah.
But interestingly, that dovetails into the act I have selected, and there were many vying for this feature. They have a song about that very thing, playing all the bars, sleeping in their cars, and practicing right on out in the street. If that sounds familiar, some of you are probably grinning already, knowing that I'm referring to Boston, and that lyric comes from their first album, classic Rock and Roll Band. In the song, a man smoking a big cigar, I guess you could do that back in the 70s in a building, and driving a Cadillac car, told them the band was out of sight. And they signed a contract. Did it happen that way for Boston? Hell no. No. The song is described by Boston's songwriting wizard, Tom Scholz, as pure fantasy. So what really did happen? More on that next time. Yep.
Oh.
Just kidding, of course. Not trying to get off that easy.
Wow.
Yep. So ready, I don't even want to say it. Don't fucking stop it just because of that.
I'm fucking dying tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, all the way back in the late 60s, that's the 1960s, Tom Scholz began attending MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the default brainiac thing. All you have to do is say MIT. Well, you're not exactly an MIT grad, are you? To try to denigrate someone's intelligence. But then he
said that to me many times.
Not exactly an MIT. No, I used it in my song exactly. He didn't graduate hip-hop Harvard or MC MIT. It's actually in my song.
There you go.
There you go. So that means, they... Immortalized. I mean, I put them on the map, basically. And that, at MIT, was where he first wrote music. And after he graduated with a master's degree from MIT, he began working for Polaroid Corporation in the product development division. By night, he played keyboards for bands in the Boston bar and club scene, where he collaborated with the drummer Jim Masday. And I have two of them who shared a concept for the perfect rock band, which... one with what they described as crystal clear vocals and bone-crunching guitars.
Ooh.
That's just pretty fair. I mean, If you ever listen to Boston, that's kind of what you get,
But wouldn't you call them a little yachty so people don't feel that they're crunchy and hard because they're yacht rocky?
But it's yacht rocky because of the crystal clear harmonies and all that stuff
yeah,
and the
that's
melodies.
True.
But man, those guitars crunch. I mean, picture Peace of Mind. Take a look at da-da-da. I mean,
right.
that is some heavy shit.
So it's crunchy yacht.
It's crunchy, yeah.
Right.
It's a crunchy yacht. Yeah. It's
Fair.
like an ice-breaking yacht rock.
So it's a Titanic situation. Got it.
They only thought of themselves as part-time musicians, but they built a studio, and Scholz was recording, and we've been told about he's this one-man thing. He sits around recording, playing all the stuff himself in his little basement and everything. And both of them later joined a group called Mother's Milk. Now, that sounds silly, and I've got milk, I want you to know. And I just didn't have time to make hot cocoa, not since yesterday. And Christina knows what I'm talking about. But she made me do that because of the deal about this. Yes, I have hot chocolate.
You have milk.
I have Starbucks hot cocoa. I have milk, but
just the
since yesterday, I mean, who's got time to put them together? Heating up milk. I mean, I got stuff to do, man.
You're busy.
Especially since yesterday.
Gotcha.
But now, Mother's Milk, which is not the kind of milk I have, It's actually almond milk. How lame is that? It's fucking almond milk.
So it's nut milk.
Yeah, it's nut. Now I'm never making that hot chocolate. But So they recorded some demos and stuff, and they performed them for executives in a Boston warehouse that doubled as Aerosmith's practice facility.
Oh.
And CBS Records signed Mother's Milk in a contract that required, now wait, listen to this, 10 albums over 6 years. Excuse me?
Oh, my gosh.
One member, the drummer, quit before he even knew the band passed the audition, which I hate hearing these stories, by the way. And Scholes recruited, of course, Sib Hashian, Boston's drummer, in his place. So, but while still Mother's Milk, Scholes was working on the signature Boston sound, as it's been called, in terms of production involving a balance between acoustic and electric guitars. And to that end, he was inspired by his childhood of listening to classical music, noting that the basic concept of setting the listener up for a change that's coming into music has been explored for hundreds of years in classical compositions, and that is part of the Boston sound, to hear him tell it. And multiple harmonic guitars with Baroque arrangements, et cetera, et cetera. These are mostly songs that were written long before the Boston moniker was ever applied, which an executive suggested they change their name to from Mother's Milk, which I don't get. I mean, because it's one of those names that we think of as a great name because it's part of a great band instead of... It isn't a great name, but I mean, we think of Boston because we think of Boston. So imagine if I said, hey, Christina, let's start a band and call it Eagles. It's like, no, that's lame. Yeah. The Cars, that sucks. Boston, Europe, they all suck, you know. But then again, once they're in use, it's like, oh, yeah, that's great, man. But an executive suggested Boston, which the song actually says, the song I mentioned at the outset, Rock and Roll Band, was instrumental in getting the band signed, even though it is, as Scholes described, a charming bit of group self-mythology and pure fantasy, because nothing like that ever happened to Boston, but it happened to a lot of other people. Everybody who ever dreamed about being in a band, well, this is your song. It just wasn't our song. They weren't even playing live at the time. And Scholes at one point gave up on the club scene and was recording at home. And this went on for a while. They were still Mother's Milk. Then they were nobody after that. And I don't know what happened with CBS. And then along comes Epic, and we'll get back to that in a second. But when we hear the song Rock and Roll Band, we hear the line, people stood in line and didn't seem to mind. You know, everybody knew our name. And we go, yeah, because your name was Boston, even though it wasn't and nothing like that ever happened. It sure sounds clever. But there was so much. It's such a twisted tale. I don't have time to tell it all. But there were a lot of fake outs. I mean, Scholes was recording most of this stuff in his basement. The record label was saying, you have to record the record in L.A., not the East Coast and everything. And he was like, oh, shit. So this elaborate deception, they went to L.A. and recorded one song and did the rest of it back in his home place and everything. And but ultimately, the demo, and they made him do the demos over again, and he just did them over again. There was a lot of shit going on with both of them. But there was a lot of bar playing, just not necessarily together or consistently or as Boston or doing those songs. But if dues were to be paid one way or another, they paid them, even if not as Boston and even if not altogether. And whatever kind of label-placating skullduggery they had to engage in, at the end, everybody was happy. Because good old Epic Records, who took a chance on serially rejected artists Boston and Meatloaf, thus cementing two of the fantastically huge-selling albums of all time into their catalog. Epic indeed. So how much of a thrush was Boston in to become a success? Well, the album was released, the self-titled Boston debut album, of course, was released by Epic Records in August 1976, and within a week it had been added to 392 stations, which is something that anybody would be glad to see. But had the record failed, Scholes, then 29, planned to abandon his ambition of making a living performing music. He still worked at Polaroid after it was released and doubted its commercial success until it sold 200,000 copies. And all of a sudden, I realized I was in the music business, he told Rolling Stone. I got word on what the sales figures were while I was still at Polaroid full-time. It wasn't easy staying there 2 more weeks. It's like, okay, I'm marking my time here, but then I'm going to be a rock star, okay? Yeah. The album was certified gold in October 76, sold another 500,000 copies within 30 days, going platinum for the first time in November 1976. By January, the debut had sold 2 million copies, making it one of the fastest-selling debut albums in rock history, and went on to win the Recording Industry Association of America's award for the best-selling debut album. The album singles More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, and Foreplay/Long Time were major hits, and nearly the entire album receives constant airplay on classic rock radio to this day. I mean, there's not a song on Boston you won't hear. No. I mean, Let Me Take You Home Tonight, Peace of Mind, Hitch a Ride, they're all there. Yeah. It's regarded as, of course, a staple of 70s rock. There simply isn't 70s rock without Boston.
That's true.
And has been included on many lists of essential albums. It sold at least 17 million copies in the United States alone.
Damn.
And 20 million worldwide, making it one of the best-selling debut albums of all time. I saw Boston back in the glory days, by the way, and it was really unbelievable.
Oh,
yes,
my.
yes. Tom Scholz, the band's only keyboardist, who started out playing keyboards in bands, had this giant pipe organ with the pipes lit up in different colors. And I seem to recall it rose up out of the floor.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And he's got some giant Phantom of the Opera style get up on, playing madly during the instrumental break of the Runaway Train that is the song Smokin'.
Wow.
And it was just brilliant. And as if the night weren't unforgettable enough, Sammy Hagar opened for them. But
hell yeah.
anyway, and of course, the faux biographical story about the man with the cigar in the Cadillac car, well, gives something to fuel the fantasies of all the hardworking bands out there, like Ascent, for example.
Oh.
That man with the Cadillac car and the cigar, he's coming to your next
Hell
gig.
yeah, please.
And just generally speaking, it's one of those cool story bro kind of things. So,
True.
Was it a thrush? Once the record came out, it was one of the biggest thrushes of all time. Now, there were many bands I thought of to do features on. Some of them, they became overnight successes with a single from their third album. That definitely is not the case with Boston here.
No.
So that was a major music business thrush. So yeah, they did it, and screw the dues. I would say they had it and they sold it, and God bless them. So yeah,
I love it. Screw the dues, except for those people who paid them for years and years and years and years. But it is 99% luck, unfortunately. It's not even all talent. It's who you know, who you see. It's all about time. It's all about opportunity, honestly.
Well, we all grieve about what's out there today in the music world.
Well, true.
But if somebody good like Boston comes along and they happen to get discovered overnight or whatever, okay, great, But
that's true. Well, I think that's great. And, I think, due paying is a sort of a term that should be left in the past, but it is something that is expected. They want to know you've played a million bars, and they want to know that, you've been burnt. They want to know that you know what it feels to be disappointed. It's just a thing,
One of the great making it in a band songs, AC/DC's "It's a Long Way to the Top" if you want to rock and roll. You wonder how much of that is true.
Right? Yeah.
Did they really get stoned and beat up and all this ripped off and underpaid, etc.?
Well, see, I was.
Have you ever been beaten up?
No.
Okay.
And I was going to say it's who you know or who you blow, but I'm not blowing anybody.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and yeah.
So
getting
no.
Stoned, getting underpaid, getting all this stuff. I'm sure
underpaid or not paid. Yeah,
not
for
paid,
sure.
Yeah. We draw the line at pay to play.
Yeah.
At least she does anyway.
I do. Yeah, I'm not doing it.
But
interesting.
Yeah. That was one of those rocket to the top things, and from the first album too. So yeah, good for Boston.
Good for Boston.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. Well, thank you. I love the new features. All right, so
I want you to know I left it in the last show, the thing with the lozenge, because I demonstrated the lozenge. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the next artist we're going to be listening to is BlakLight with a song called "I Know." You're not going to believe it, but it's "Waiting," and this is a single. And this particular artist is from Los Angeles. And they are darkwave, synth pop, and electronic. Have I intrigued you? Probably. Well, let's listen to BlakLight. right. And that was BlakLight with Waiting. So interesting. Of course, I have to say, when you see dark wave, synth pop, and electronic, the first thought that comes to mind for me is Depeche Mode. And this did not disappoint because I hear Gahan-style vocals, certainly in this. And there's certainly, I think, Depeche Mode inspirations. I'm not saying it's derivative because it's not. It certainly is something that takes us back to kind of thrust us forward. So synth and new wave of the 80s and 90s, really mostly 80s because that was my favorite. But what I really love about this, obviously, is how fresh it sounds, energetic, makes me want to dance. Not only that, but I maybe also want to use my blue mascara, put on my lace gloves, neon socks, grab my skate covers before my mom drops me off at Skate World, I also want to be in my room playing with my Casio keyboard. There's so many things I want to do, but it makes me happy. It also makes me think of things like the Human League and Culture Club, right? So it kind of takes me back again to take me forward. I'm not saying any of that to say that it is a complete throwback, because that's not what I'm saying, but we take nods from the past to make new things, and that's really what's been done here, I think, with great expertise. And I really love BlakLight, and I am interested to hear more. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, nothing much. I do. The 80s was the last really solid decade of music for me, and I do love that kind of stuff. We went to that 80s club for your birthday.
Oh, yeah, it was so fun.
That was so badass, and this is the kind of stuff we were hearing. And you can dance to it, and that's a good thing. I love how it starts off with this really erratic synth where it gives you the impression that either the record is skipping or your brain is skipping.
Or both.
Thankfully, it doesn't go on, or you wouldn't be able to live through it, or dance to it. But the vocal, like you said, it is very Depeche Mode.
Love it.
It's clearer and less mechanical than you might expect, given the intro to the music.
For sure. It's a lot more organic.
It is much more organic. There is a little bit of a phased vocal on the break, but it's welcome.
I love it.
As opposed to the other way around. I mean, having most of it affected and then the clear. No, it's much better this way. It was great. It sounds great that way.
It's an accent instead of a...
It's an accent like the Cars did on Moving in Stereo. I mean, there's a lot of examples of that we've seen that works so well.
Yes.
And in this one, at first I was missing the fact that they're saying, you said I'd be right there waiting. So it's like, okay, this is somebody. It sounds like he's saying, I'll be waiting for you, but it's somebody else saying they'll be waiting for him.
I guess so, yeah.
I guess, And there was a really nifty keyboard solo during the break that I really liked a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end, the instruments kind of bow out one at a time.
Which was so
sort of
great.
like Haydn's Farewell Symphony,
It's kind of, I like that it just kind of, decomposes, it just kind of goes. It just kind of one at a time.
You can picture them blowing out their little candles and leaving the stage like they did during Haydn's Farewell Symphony. And I might have done that on a song of mine too, where things just drop out one by one and then there's only one thing left. It's really great right up to the end. And the end, the not the timing changes, but the thickness of the arrangement changes. It gets sparer. Things drop out. The beat. I mean, it's the kind of thing that I wish they did more of these days. The kind of stuff that I go, and now you see, that's when they were still making. Guys, you've made a song that even the Dino de Dino, the Capo de Capo of the Tar Pit, says, I wish they still made music like that. Well, you do, and we thank you for it. It's great stuff.
It really is.
And BlakLight, by the way, BLAK Light. First of all, BlakLight, you're talking my language, of course. That's the 70s and all that great stuff. And it is a throbbing, jumping club hit, and you have to love that. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we all can agree is great.
Yep, and if you want to hear more from BlakLight, and I think you should, definitely go to Instagram, and you can find them at BLAK Band. Now, I want to let you know that there are several mixes of the song Waiting. This particular mix that we played on our show is the Solar Fake remix, which is obviously from their tour. They had a tour called Solar Fake Tour.
No.
So this is the Solar Fake remix, in case you want to buy it, which you should. Now, from one artist to another, we are going to continue this onslaught of new artists, and we're going to talk about Elizabeth Moen with a song called Is Heaven Just a Waiting Room? And this is a single, and she is a singer-songwriter. And this lovely lady hails from Chicago. So I am super excited to hear all of this song because I've heard about 20 seconds. So let's take a listen.
Is heaven just a waiting watching ballroom dancing lessons across the street. Heaven's anywhere I get to think of you. Heaven's anywhere I'm happy to be. Sitting with a smile, humming to the clock ticking in, being just fine with things taking a while. I tried so hard to believe. I'm done trying too hard at anything. Promise I do believe in you. Heaven's just the things we love to do.
That was Is Heaven Just a Waiting Room? And wow, what are your thoughts on this, what I'd like to say, lovely little song?
Well, I certainly concede that it was a lovely little song indeed. So you usually do, and like I've said so many times, thank you for sparing me from having to listen to a bunch of junk because you find the good ones. You know.
Yes.
It's a very painstaking process, I'm sure, sometimes.
It was like 40 songs this time.
Wow, that's just sad. Okay. But Elizabeth Moen, okay, is Heaven Just a Waiting Room. Great. It starts off with like this. It's got this classic folk melody,
Yes.
and you're going, "Wow, this is classic folk. This is Americana or whatever."
Yes,
you know?
Americana, yeah.
And but the setting of the guitar is edgier, and then it's kind of like an edgy '60s thing, and then comes in this choppy beat also.
Yeah.
So it puts it back in those days that where people like me tend to live permanently. You know, and then the beat kind of propels it into like alt rock territory, but it still has the classic Americana sound of, you know, Emmylou Harris, Ricky Lee Jones kind of thing,
Yes.
singer-songwriter type stuff. And the harmonies get really lush, and there's this beautiful steely guitar, and the lyric is just beautiful.
Just
and sweet.
beautiful.
Just absolutely lovely, of course. I was going to leave most of that to you, leave that red meat to you. But the steely guitar, the vocal thing, the vocal and the guitar outro vamp, it's just satisfying in every way. Beautiful song. I can't wait to hear what you think about it.
Well, her voice, again, we've had a night of amazing female vocalists, and just the control and the power and the vulnerability and the softness and the hardness. And, you know, she's evocative, she's emotive, it's just beautiful. And these lyrics, you know, when I saw it, I was like, intriguing. Is heaven just a waiting room? That's interesting. But then, you know, heaven's anywhere I get to think of you. So we're thinking of, do we have to wait to heaven till we get to heaven to have a heaven, right? Depending on what you believe, let's just say that heaven is a place we go after we die. But can we have heaven on earth right now? And she's saying, yes, heaven's anywhere I get to think of you. Heaven's anywhere I'm happy to be, right? So we're looking at it a little bit different. We're saying we can make our time here beautiful. We can make it into our own heaven while we're here. Heaven's anywhere. I'm on my way to you. It's just so sweet, you know, and I just think that the lyrics, the sentiment, the feel of the song, again, that classic Americana, folk, singer, songwriter, and I thought that the artists that you mentioned were perfect. I just think this song is everything that I didn't know I wanted. And it really spoke to me, and it really moved me. Now, remember, I just listened to the first bit, so I'm hearing this, and I'm thinking, I'm looking at you, and I think we're both like, holy shit, this is beautiful. So I will say, look, I'm going to go listen to more of her stuff. She's in Chicago. I'm sure she's touring. Definitely go listen to her. And I will say that she's got lots and lots of singles. So please go listen to her singles. She has recent singles. This was the one that fit our theme. But her voice, I'm sure, gets better as she continues to develop it in her new songs. So this was really beautiful. If you liked what you heard, and I'm sure you did, because we have very smart people here. So Instagram, you can find her at Elizabeth, Moen Music. Well, one more to go. But before then, we are going to have you do your next and final feature.
Okay.
Yes, there are 2. You committed to 2. I know, isn't that crazy?
To borrow a phrase from Jesus, woman, what have I to do with thee? My time has not yet come. Except according to the format, which is not written on any paper or any physical medium of any sort.
It's in my mind.
It's strictly in our minds. My hour has come.
Yes.
Okay. So, woman, I will do something with thee, okay? And I've decided to once again go back to Hawkward lyrics. And I'll advise you, if you're very sensitive to the feelings of clouds and do not wish to see an old man yell at them, then you might want to check out for this segment here. For this feature, we weigh in on nonsensical, strange, crazy, or bullshit song lyrics. And there's certainly no shortage of those.
No shortage.
And all of us discerning and mature music aficionados love the 60s and the 70s, but really, enjoying these classics can involve yanking the plug on your ability to reason, and much like a webcam, taping a piece of paper over your insight. You know, tonight's lyrical shenanigans come from. Are you filming me?
Maybe.
Oh,
None of your business.
I would say that was my business.
None of your business.
I'm not signing any releases.
None of your business.
Tonight's lyrical shenanigans, and of course, this is I did not get to print this, so I'm reading from the unedited notes. So hopefully, this will fly. Okay. Tonight's lyrical shenanigans come from that golden age of Hawkward, the '60s. You might know this one from the popular cover by Tesla, released in 1990. But the song in question dates all the way back to 1965, originally released by the Canadian group, blame Canada, the five-man electrical band, and it was called Signs.
Oh.
Yes, Tesla, 1990. A whole
I
new
remember
generation
that.
got introduced to Hawkward lyrics. Well, in the age of the interwebs, this sort of thing has come to be known as rage bait. Just the sort of thing to get an old guy like me ranting.
Rage bait. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, seriously, this is it's a term I picked up from other people. You see stuff going around online. Somebody will show a picture of this pristine natural scene and say, "Can you believe someone saw this and came up with a 40-hour work week?" And I'm like, wow. It's like somebody summed it up and said, "Who wrote this bit of rage bait? An 8-year-old?"
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because it would be so much better sleeping on that rock over there and eating twigs and berries than whatever you got now, you know. To say nothing of how we would determine which rock was whose, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and indeed, property rights do come into play in this dizzy little ditty, among other things.
Property rights.
All right, this song, Signs, was written by five-man electrical band's frontman Les Emerson when he was road tripping on Route 66 in California, my old haunt, where my shop was, and noticed the beautiful scenery. And notice the toy boats were obscured and notice the beautiful scenery and the toy boats were obscured by many billboards. Originally a B-side. Now, see, back in the day, kids, there used to have these things made of vinyl called 45 records. And they had one song. Yeah. Oh, well, are they? I know the vinyl is big, but not. I didn't think the 45s. They had one song on one side and one song on the other. The single was the A side and the bonus was the B side. And in many instances, surprisingly, these were reissued with the sides reversed because the B side became more popular, so they made it the A side. But this was one of those cases, actually. Signs was a B side. And yes, it's the classic, you know, it's, hey man, it's not fair screed as that you expect, you know, from the 60s. I'll read the lyrics and try to refrain from commenting and making any sounds as they do during classical live performances and courtroom proceedings. So. And the sign said, "Long-haired freaky people need not apply." So I tucked my hair up under my hat and I went in to ask him why. He said, "You look like a fine, upstanding young man. I think you'll do." So I took off my hat and said, "Imagine that. Huh, me working for you. Signs, signed, everywhere a sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign?" And the sign said, "Anybody caught trespassing would be shot on sight." So I jumped on the fence and I yelled at the house, "Hey, what gives you the right to put up a fence to keep me out or to keep Mother Nature in? If God was here, he'd tell you to your face, man, you're some kind of sinner." Repeat the chorus and then... and then the bridge. "Now, hey, you, mister, can't you read? You've got to have a shirt and tie to get a seat. You can't watch. No, you can't eat. Did you really want to watch him? You ain't supposed to be here." The sign said, "You got to have a membership card to get inside." Ugh. And finally, after the instrumental, and the sign said, "Everybody welcome. Come in, kneel down and pray." I guess that means even long-haired freaky people and people without ties, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But when they passed around the plate at the end of it all, I didn't have a penny to pay. So I got me a pen and a paper, and I made up my own little sign. I said, "Thank you, Lord, for thinking about me. I'm alive and doing fine." Okay. Now...
Well, you know, you may not have vocalized any commentary, but your face said lots.
And there were a couple times I couldn't refrain either. So.
Yeah.
First off, I'm willing to wager that no such signs have ever existed. That nobody ever made up a sign that said long-haired freaky people need not apply, or that trespassers would be shot on sight. I don't think those exist.
I think we're just suspending disbelief here.
Majorly suspending disbelief. And I love the bit about what gives you the right to put up a fence to keep me out and to keep Mother Nature in, because I'm sure if it weren't for the fences, all the trees and flowers would definitely make a break for it and run free. You rich devil.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. I mean, you know, that's you're keeping them in. It's a prison for nature, you know, basically. Any and every restaurant, even the cheapest, will require you to wear a shirt. You know,
well, yeah.
You know, a tie. Well, I highly doubt that any such thing happens. But the odds are, if there is such a place, you'd already be a member. You'd know that because you'd be a member, and you'd have the card. So
Yeah.
not like have the dreaded card, So this is basically raging against velvet ropes and things like gates on communities and membership cards. But I would liken membership cards to time. You know what time is, right? It's that thing that keeps everything from happening all at once. So it is with memberships. The fees are not there to frustrate the peasants and keep them away. They usually go for something, some sort of expense or whatever, or at least to limit the flow a little bit. You know what you need membership for? Fucking Costco. You need a membership card. Is that so only rich people can buy gigantic wheels containing 200 pairs of tube socks? No, I don't think so. And what about that $10 a month charge and how effective it is at keeping riffraff out of highfalutin elitist conclaves like Planet Fitness?
You're fired up.
Sorry, poor people, you're just not working out alongside your rich neighbors. But wrong-headed and inflammatory and just plain silly as the lyrics are, it's a pleasant enough little tune if one exercises a little judgment. And while I don't have any empirical evidence to back this up, I'm going to guess that even long-haired freaky people with ties needed a pass to go backstage at the five-man electrical band's shows. So,
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. So, but anyway, yeah, fun stuff.
So they're awkward, but I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because the origin story is talking about driving Route 66 and just being annoyed by the billboards.
Yeah.
And then making up some sort of crazy narrative that they felt fit the time and whatever oppression they saw, whatever, I don't know, inequity they saw or they thought of. I think it sounds like it's mostly stuff made up while they're driving, but it's not really based in reality. But I do think, they're evocative lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, I'll listen to it. I won't say, oh, this is dumb and turn it off, even though I know what they're going to say. So, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with music. You listen to a lot of, Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young, Ohio, rules and regulations, who needs them? What? I mean, we do. What do you mean, who needs them? Everybody does. So it's just shit they were saying back then that you got to take with a grain of salt and just recognize great entertainment for what it is. So, I think they're awkward, but I don't know. I think of the awkward that we've covered in the past about creepy men and like talking to referencing little like young women. Yeah, it's not as awkward as Stray Cat Blues.
Yeah,
but remember, awkward was crazy or bullshit, and I was zeroing in on the bullshit aspect.
It is kind of funny it's very interesting. So, yeah, interesting. So, very, very cool. I like that feature very much. Very interesting. So, thank you. So, the next thing, the final thing we will do before we will bid you farewell for this particular show is we're going to listen to our last artist for the show. And his name is Rodney Owl with a song called, wait for it, Waiting. And this is a single. And he calls himself alt dark folk, jazzy indie folk pop. This gentleman is from Ireland, and I want you to also note that he has a new EP called Emerge and See that you should also take a listen to. But, again, before we do all that, let's listen to Rodney Owl's Waiting.
We're going out tonight. We'll have a real good time. I don't care what they say, I've always been a good boy. Nothing to do with me. I live my life carefree. Cause no pain, I've always been a good boy. Waiting to wake up to the news that it's all over. economic slave believes that he is brave. His biggest fear is change. He's always been a good boy. Enjoy your holiday somewhere far away. Get on that big jet plane. You've always been a good boy. This is a timeless time. We get to know time. This is a final time. We got to know time. Like a tidal wave, we'll never be the same. There's no one else to blame. We've always been such good boys. Waiting to wake up to the news that it's all over. This is a timeless time. We get to know time. This is a final time. We've got to know time. This is the finest time. We'll have to know time. This is a timeless time. We got to know time.
Rodney Owl.
Rodney Owl, you ruddy legend.
Holy shit.
We're arm wrestling over here. Who gets to go first on this one?
I'll let you go. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. I gotta, we've been doing this show for a long, long time, and not often at all has being an artist, just being introduced by one track really, really knocked me flat like this. This is so assured and so powerful. I mean, it starts out with this, kind of eerie lounge piano with this whistle keyboard thing. Like, woo, woo. I mean, it's just...
there's like bloops, bleeps, and my God.
Rodney, you dog, you. I mean, there's something about the lyric. It's just a little unsettling.
I've always been a good
boy, and here I am carefree. I never caused any pain. And there's this synthesized thing and this what sounds like a trombone effect, whether it's real or not. And everything about it is there's a twang and a vibrato and little dips and slides and modulations in almost every instrument on the thing.
It is so disconcerting.
It's so
unsettling.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's so unsettling you in a way where you can't leave, where you can't possibly.
You're transfixed.
Turn away from it, and with lines like waiting to wake up to the news that it's all over. It goes on and it gets even more moody and mysterious, but it has this dangerous edge that develops with these incredible harmonies, and there's like
they're almost imperceptible. They're
very
perfect.
very subtle. Yeah,
they're perfect.
And there's this like laugh that comes in. It's like, oh, whoa,
it's
whoa,
maniacal,
whoa,
but that's supposed to be people having a good time. And
and it's like just like I have questions.
It makes me think we're all mad here.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things. It's like it's like a land of madness. Like I said, everything's twanging, everything's vibratoing. There's this really crass guitar break. And on
it's
and on.
Magical.
It's magical, and it's so raw, and it's so discordantly beautiful.
So much tension is built throughout this song. There's a tension and very little release before there's more tension.
Yes, it ratchets up and up and up. It doesn't really. It goes 3 steps up and a half a step
That's
back.
right.
And the never-ending insistence that he's a good boy, they're a good boy, he's a good boy, everybody's a good boy.
So creepy.
And the more they
beautiful.
say it, and the less you kind of buy it.
That's right.
And that bit at the end, I can't make out exactly what it's saying, but I know it's pulled me in. It's like, this is a time we've got to know time. I don't know what he's saying.
I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but
Owl,
amazing.
Every aspect of this, every
decision.
way it's thought out. It's like, I'm going to have this do this. Every single judgment,
decision
like you
is
said,
perfect.
Was perfect, and so we seem to be saying the same things here because we're in total agreement that this is a phenomenal track. And I'll bet you, when you did your little sample preview thing, you had no idea how it was going to get.
I liked the darkness at the beginning.
Yeah.
There was a little moodiness and a darkness, and I went, let's see what happens there.
Yeah, the first 15 seconds, 20 seconds is very promising. And you go, okay, I'll sign up for this.
Let's see what happens.
I'll invest 4 or 5 minutes to listen to this. And it goes, and we were going.
We were making all kinds of guttural sounds, like
noises.
Oh my
exactly.
god! Wow,
while
we were
this
doing
was
that.
playing, and we're looking and look.
Oh my god!
She's twitching over there like I am. Brilliant stuff, Rodney Owl. You, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't even know.
Go ahead.
The only other thing I wanted to add, because I really feel like you did it. His voice is absolutely beautiful. It's got lovely tone. But then there's also the way that he is singing is, again, moody, and it's a little terrifying at times, which I love.
Yeah, this could have been like a Nick Cave type vocal, but it's not.
But
thankfully.
it's not. It's beautiful.
That would be fine, but it's better the way it is. It's much more beautiful the way it is.
It's because it's folky and it's accessible, but then you're like, ooh, but wait, I can't get comfortable because something's sinister here. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
And then that insistent, like, simple piano the whole time, like, taunting us.
Yeah.
And there's that tension that it's building, and that it's kind of the backbone of the whole thing, but then it's just as unsettling. So it doesn't give you any comfort. It just builds more tension. I'm blown away by this. I really am. I think it's just so powerful. And again, every decision is so specific. This is a little masterpiece to me.
It is, and even though it's not suggested by the lyric in any way, except for the the impending doom type thing, and it's going to be over anytime. It's like musically, it's like a haunted house. I mean, there's the pianos sound like they're covered with dusts and ghosts are playing them and stuff. Everything is just a little warped and off,
and I love it.
It is a musical Hill House, and I absolutely love it.
Exactly, it absolutely is. So, Rodney, we are blown away. We are fans. We are shook. Yeah. We are absolutely shook.
God, it's all shook up.
So, if you loved what you just heard, and again, there's just no way that you could avoid loving what you just heard. Find him on Instagram at Rodney, that's RODNEY Owl, OWL. And again, check out his new EP, Emerge and See. There's been some amazing music tonight. I don't know. I am definitely shook. But sadly, all amazing, wonderful, beautiful things must come to an end. So that leaves for you to wrap us up.
All right, time to wrap this puppy up in a neat little blanket. Coming up, Winging It, a short show about a music-related topic. No new artist introductions or tracks. We simply share opinions. That's easy enough to do. And promise laughs. That's just as easy to do for us. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, and many more. You know what they are. Subscribe to your Boyds and get notified of every show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, at BOAF On Air, BOAF On Air. And tell your friends in bands to send in their music. No, really, Christina, we want to hear, listen to that track. We want to listen to their music. Help us grow our murmuration. Yes, you heard me correctly. Our colony, our flock, like you. And how? How do we do that? Well, share us in your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. feeds, and share your birds with the world. And, having come to the end of what my memory says is the format, that only leaves for you to say...
Let's fly this coop.
This has been Birds of a Feather on What the Flock Radio.